guys, what's going on? Zinkaholic here, and today I have a little bit of Dead Island gameplay for you. I know I'm like probably 2 years behind everyone else with this game, but it's fun and I've been playing it, and actually been looking around, you know, YouTube and checking out videos, and found out there was Jason Voorhees in this game, and you can get his chainsaw. So that's where I'm at today, and that's what I'm going to achieve, is getting his chainsaw and his machete from him, and just showing you where the location is and stuff. But main reason I'm bringing you a video today is that I'm actually going to talk about a subject that has nothing to do with this game in particular, but just gaming in general. Today I was at work and was thumbing through my Twitter, and does that even sound right? Doesn't really matter. I was going through the Twitter timeline there and reading some articles from I couldn't remember if it was Maker Studios or RPM Networks, or somebody had posted an article from IGN, basically about talking about Sony has just purchased the patent to basically make it to where you can't play secondhand games. It's been talked about before. I know Xbox has been talking about it, but now Sony has gone ahead and purchased this patent. So go ahead and I'm going to put the link in the description, but I'm going to go ahead and post it right here. Sony has reportedly patented technology that will prevent the use of secondhand games on consoles. So basically what that means is that the patent explained that the games will come with contactless tags that will be read by your console in much the same way as your modern bank cards. And when the disc is first used, the disc ID and the player ID will be stored in the tag, but every time that you use the disc in the future, the tag's going to check up on the two IDs, and if they don't match, then it doesn't work. So basically what that means in layman's terms and modern day English is that you aren't going to be able to use games anymore, which is basically going to shut down your local game store. You know, I can't speak for everyone across the world, but I know most of us here in the U.S., like one of the largest retailers in used games is GameStop. That's where I buy my games from, and I buy them there because, you know, they have a discount program where you have a card and you get better discounts. You get 10% off of used merchandise, used games and things like that. You also, there's a lot of perks to getting it, and you get, you know, free points built up. So there's a lot of perks with getting used stuff. So I tend to buy used items. The only thing I don't get used is the Call of Duty. Once a year, because I buy the hardened or prestige edition or whatever it may be, but I, actually take all year and make payments on it and pay that off and get it new. So it's the only thing I don't get used, but pretty much I get everything else used. But what this is going to mean is that you're not going to be able to. So basically, you're going to buy a game, you're going to bring it home, you're going to put it in your console, and that's it. It's your game. And it's getting a lot of bad feedback. It's probably going to be the death of Sony, especially if they make it in the new console and the new PlayStation 4. They haven't elaborated if that is where it's going to take place. I would hope it doesn't, but what that's going to mean is when you get your new PlayStation 4 and you get a new game and you put it in, it's only going to be, you are going to be able to play it. So let's say that you buy a game, or I'll give you a better example. Let's say I have a PlayStation that I play on. Now my kids have a PlayStation that they play on. Now they don't. We only have one PlayStation in the house, but there was a point last year where we actually had two PlayStations in the house, one for my kids and one for myself. I did have two copies of like the Call of Duties. I bought those used and way after the fact, just because they wanted to always play mine and I wanted to play them, so it just seemed better just to go ahead and get them a copy. But if I have a copy and I have it in my console, if let's say if my son had a PlayStation, he couldn't play that game. I would actually have to go out and purchase a brand new $60 version of that game to put in his console, which he could only play. So that right there alone just sucks. I mean, I just don't see any reasoning for it besides wanting more money. Sony and Microsoft has expressed their, dislike for the used game retailers like GameStop, because it's saying it's interfering with their money. But see, I don't understand how that's even possible. I disagree. If you make a product and you sell that product and someone down the line has bought that product, okay? If you make a game like Dead Island here, okay, and I go to the store and I spend $60 on a brand new copy of Dead Island, you've made your money. That's end of transaction. It's over. It's done with. That's your markup. That's whatever. That's what you decided to sell the game as. $60. I gave you $60. You give me the game. The game is now mine. I can do whatever I want with it. That's how it should be. I don't see how it could be any different. But they're saying that they don't want me to turn around and sell it to somebody like GameStop, and then GameStop turn around and sell it to somebody, especially when they offer new games in that store right along next to the used games. So it's kind of controversial, but that's like the big car manufacturers, Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. These guys sell me a car or a truck, and I'm the only one that can have it, and I'm stuck with it. Nobody else can ever use this. And to make matters worse is no one else could even drive it. That's like saying, my wife couldn't drive it. That doesn't make any sense, If my buddy needs to borrow my pickup truck to, go down the road or something like that, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't work with you. It only works if I sit in the driver's seat. I mean, how much sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. It's just insane. I don't see why they're doing that. What do we got here? They're going to basically create a noose, stick their head in it, and jump off the chair and hang themselves if they do this. This is insane. So, I just wanted to share that article with you guys. I want you to please leave your thoughts, your comments, your questions, suggestions in the comment section below. And tell me what you think. Tell me your idea on the whole thing. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link down below, and I want you to click it and read it and study up on it if you haven't even heard anything about it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. And give me your thoughts on it and tell me what you think. It's insane, like I said, that they would even consider it. And I think Xbox had talked about it first, and they backpedaled once the backlash hit them. They realized what a huge mistake it would be if they did that. I think they backpedaled and they said, no, they weren't going to do it. And now all of a sudden Sony's doing it, and they've actually taken the step of buying the patent for the technology to do it. So, keep your fingers crossed, guys, because if that does happen, that's just going to kill the gaming industry. I'm not necessarily kill it, but it's just going to suck. I mean, it's going to suck for, people that want to play retro games. People like me who've grown up gaming since the very first Nintendo come out. Imagine that. Imagine having that very first Nintendo out there in my garage in a box. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hang on to this, and I'm going to let my kids play it when they get old. And I would take it out, and it says, oh, I'm sorry, you can't play it. That would just be crazy, I couldn't go get older games, go to Amazon.com and, or eBay or something and find some old games and play them in there. It wouldn't work. That's just blows me away. So, tell me what you think. And I would love to get a discussion going on this and see how it goes. And, yeah. Anyways, so back to the gameplay. Where are we? We are in the overpass little shelter area here. And I gotta give this guy his medical supplies like that girl wanted. So, alright guys, well this has been Inkaholic, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and the topic. And please leave your comments below, and stay tuned for the next episode. And I will see you then, guys. Take care.